Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on some more of the Junk Journal January, our next two numbers. And I'm also going to show you what I got the other day from my Amazon order. And totally forgot to show you. I showed you the sprays, but that was all I got to show you. The only other thing I got was some Barely Arts glue, some magnets, and some of that collage medium. And, that's not very exciting. You've already seen me show you those type of things. But I also got two Stamperia pads. And I've had them in the past, and they were really pretty. So I wanted them again. So I'm going to flip through those and show them to you. And I went yesterday down to Michael's. I had gotten a $25 gift card from my sister-in-law for Christmas. So I went down there and I bought these two because my other vintage photo is dry. I don't know what happened to it. It's dry. It sits up here on my desk, so I have no idea what's going on with it. So I bought me another one. I have distress ink refiller, but I don't have a distress oxide refiller. So, but anyway, it wasn't like it was on sale or anything. It's like $8 at Michael's. But I got this mustard seed, and when I got up there, it was $5. So I guess it was on clearance. And I'd always wanted to have this. I think I've got it maybe in a small, but if not, you can always use a yellow. So anyhow, I just wanted to tell you that. And I'm not going to be throwing this away. I'm going to I'm going to take this off and set it upside down in like a little tray of water. The ones I usually do my paper dyeing in. So I'm going to do that and soak out as much of this as I can. And then I'm going to do some dipping and put them on some paper or a tablecloth in the basement and let them dry. So I can get some more usage out of that. Okay. So we're going to look at Hortensia. She is gorgeous. I love this one. She looks like a 1920s lady. But it's got a lot of hydrangeas in it. And it's got two images of ladies. And then you've also got the front, which has all the little sayings and stuff. Gorgeous colors. Teals, purples, pinks, lavenders. Really, really pretty. You also have the four items, which are like I guess a journal card in a way. They're not the same shape, but I've used these before as little flips and such. And then you have items on the back as well, but they're made to journal on. I love that little dragonfly. And then we have, of course, the hydrangeas. And then it's got her name mixed in down here. The back is sort of kind of like here, there, and everywhere. So that page is sort of like you could do anything with. This one is the gorgeous face. And I've used this before on a large envelope pocket. It was something that Lorette Chandler had done, the vintage paper girl. And it made a gorgeous cover. And anyhow, you can not go wrong by finding somewhere to showcase her face. She's just so pretty. But the back, look at the back. I love it as well. It's like a beautiful wallpaper. Here's the other image. I always thought this one was kind of goofy looking. I guess it's supposed to be the same girl. That one has like a mixture kind of a background as well. We have a pretty vase, basket, whatever you want to call it, and the outside window. And then there's some writing and some more trees on the back of this one. Then we have a bird cage, which is so cute. And then we have the back, which is, I don't know, I guess it could go for anything. But if you're doing a purple journal, which I do want to do a purple journal. So this may be featured in a purple journal. And then the back, I don't know. It almost looks like a little row of cherries, but this is pretty. I've used this before, I think, for a cover. I've cut it down like right in here where I could make it a 9-inch size. Or maybe I just kind of folded that part up for the pocket on the inside. But I may make a cover with that. And as you can see, the inside is really pretty as well. Then we get to the little tags. And you've got her face on here again. And then you have, I guess these are a journal pocket, but they're a window, I guess. I'm not really sure. It's an interesting look, though. And I think I've tried to cut these out before and put them individually, either on covers or something. And there's the back. And then you have the cut aparts. And then the next one is called Garden. And if you remember, I had made a little journal with this. And I had cut these all at 6 inches across. And that's how I formed the book. Now, I had a little trouble with that book, I can tell you that. Because I was trying to do scoring in there at different lengths or widths apart to make this just an easy book you could put together. It didn't quite work. Y'all said y'all enjoyed seeing me struggle. And boy, did you. Okay. So we have all of these little kind of gardening, flower gardening kind of inspired sayings. Then you have a pretty overall. I really like this overall. This, of course, made a gorgeous front cover or a front piece to go in. I can't remember what I used for the cover, though. It's got your birds, your butterflies, all your flowers, and little eggs are up here with a wreath. It's just a really cute look. And then this is really pretty as background. Then you have these 4 pieces that are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And then you've got the places where you can write on the back of those. Then you have another overall with birdhouses this time and a few birds. And this almost looks like a wall down here to me. And then it's kind of got the similar look on the back here with just stripes. Here's the wheelbarrow and a welcome. And I just went through here and it looked like it just worked perfectly when you cut it in half. I mean, you got the most purpose out of each of your pieces. This one just has the stripes on the back. And I guess this would be considered cut aparts or tags. Maybe this is considered tags. And then a few other little gewgaws. Then you have a light pink background. These flowers I've never really gotten into with the crafting and the journaling. People will do all these funny looking flowers and butterflies and things like that. And I don't know. They look homespunny to me, I guess, is what they look like. I mean, I'm not saying it's not for everyone. It's just not quite for me. And this is a beautiful background with all the flowers and roses, I mean. This one is cute. It's almost like little postage stamps if you look. And if you wanted to, you could go through and cut out little pieces and parts here to use for ephemera to add into other things. Or it makes a great background for some kind of a focal point. Now, yeah, this is the background for it. It's just some wood, blue wood. And then you have the music with things interjected all through it. And I love this background. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know what it is. It's just a little vine. But you've got some like old, I don't know if it's like supposed to be sellotape or like overlays of something that's making it look old. I just love that. And then here, and then we got some crackle. You know, I'm a sucker for crackle. And here's the bike with the little birdie. And then you've got a window on this side. See, that's the thing. You couldn't choose which side to really get rid of if you're going to, like, glue it down or something. Because there is something interesting on every side. Now, I use this piece here in my garden journal, my Farmer's Almanac journal. Because it had the, you know, the months of the year and all these pretty little additions to it. I still, that's still down to shop. I guess nobody's really into that. Okay. And then we have the cut aparts. Pretty, pretty little pieces. Love the birdhouses there. And then we've got the pots all over. Couple more another birdhouse up here with the eggs. So you can get a lot of mileage out of this thing. And then, of course, you got a few pieces up here, but, you know, I would go more for the sayings. You even have little things over here. Actually, a tag. So I get more out of the inside than I do the front. Okay, well, that is all of those. Wanted to share those with you. And we're getting into our journal. I want to thank everyone for coming to visit to see what I'm doing today. I think everybody's enjoying all the mixed media that I've been doing and all the different ways I've been doing it. My take on stuff. So here's my cover. And I don't know if you can see, but I had to separate my two signatures because, and I got like 4 pages here and 4 pages here, so it works out just right. I had just gotten to the middle, and so this is the very center, the fourth, so I'm able to go on this page now and just start going backward, and then I'll pick this one up later. And my reasoning for that is because, as you can see, the more I'm putting in it, the more it's expanding, and this little tiny skinny spine is not going to kick it. So what I'm going to end up having to do is I'm going to wait until after everything is done and it's full, and I'm going to score exactly how wide this needs to be. And then I'm going to add an addition onto the back side. It's a good thing I never decorated the back, because now I can actually put something else back here to finish it. And yeah, I figured that's the best way to do it. I'll probably do my hidden signature, where I'll make like a hard board to sew these two onto, and then I'll glue it onto here. And yeah, that's the way we're going to do it. So this is where I left off. So I'll just put this back in here, and we're going to do, oh, let me pull out the prompts. So let me show you, and I love this. I was so happy with how it turned out. We're going to be doing trim and magazine. So trim. When I thought of trim, I thought, well, let me look in my basket down here. Now, what did I do with everything? Oh, and so I come up with thinking I was going to use some doily, and then I'm going to use some of this, which is a trim that I've got left over. I think I must have got it at Walmart. And there's nothing but that little bit left, so that can go into trash. And that has a pretty little gold vine with a pink flower on it. I didn't know if you saw that really well. Very pretty little guy. I wish I could find some more of that. I also picked out a flower here that's got pearls on it and some sequins for shine. And this I got at Hobby Lobby, and that I did that as well. And I got it with the idea of going down the center of a page. So that's exactly what we're going to do with this. And I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it white. I mean, I don't see a cause or a reason. And I'm going to cut it right across there. So I'm right in the center of the next one. Okay, just like that. And then I can put that back in my bag. And then I thought to have a bit of doily under it. I also have this back out, the romance novel, because I'm thinking I'm going to use this. I'm tying in all these little rosebuds, rose flowery kind of things. So it's got buds on this. This is from Dollar Tree. But I've got a couple of pages in here that I'm going to use as a background. And it's got rosebuds on it. And I thought that would work out just right. So I'm going to do that part first. And I'm going to set my doily. And now we're going to do a little fancy something or other to the doily to dude it up. We're not just going to leave it as is. I do want to, I'll probably just turn this over. And I'll get in here and make a mark of where I need to cut this. I just need it to be a background. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. And then this part, guess I'll just put up here, because this part will need to be cut down as well. So there we go. And I'll just bump those together once I get it cut. All right. All right, I got my little guillotine, and we're going to get chopping. So I'll put that one under here. There we go. And then this one's going to have 2 cuts. One this way. Let me see if I can leave it mostly in one piece. Although, no, I'll just cut it this way and then I'll go the other way. So I'll leave the biggest piece left, you know. And then this little piece. Okay. So I got those done. And I'll have this up at the top or the bottom. So it's kind of distance. And I still don't know if I mentioned what the 2 prompts for today. It's going to be trim and magazine. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be one of those days. All right. So let me go ahead and it's going to mostly be covered, so I don't think it really matters which way these are going to go. I'm just going to get in here with some Barely Arts glue and put them down. And I need to show you a few more of my drawings. I was talking about them the other day, and I meant to get in here and show you some of those that I was discussing. All right, let's put this right here, right against that edge. Yep, works perfect. Rub it down. You can get in here with your little bone folder and do some pressing if you need to as well. And like I said, a lot of this that's on here, you're not going to see because of that one piece of trim. And I believe this is going to be a belly band. I'm trying to remember how I was going to go about that. I think I'm just going to glue the top and the bottom so I can slide something under here. Under there, I mean. Alright, so we're going to just turn it upside down like this. Butt it up against the other one. Oh, it's a little longer than that one. I'll just trim it off. Alright. Trim it off over here on the edge. I'm trying to figure out what else to tell you. So most of my art from school, I think I've discussed. I mean, we did all these different things with, probably ought to go down through here with another color on top of this. But we went through a lot of different things in the classes that I had, and I really, really enjoyed all of those. Now, when we got to a point where I graduated and everything, and you know, I told you the other day I did not want to go away to another school, and I could not really think of what I even would want to do with art. I used to have this thing where, I'm always liking a play on words, and I think it was called a logo. And it was like something that you would see, like you had a company name, but they had some special thing, like either a letter was elaborated into a type of a look for them that had to do with their business and what they worked with. And I really, really loved stuff like that. So I was doing that for a while, just piddling around myself. And I'm going to have to get the fabric tack out. But so I was, doing that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to be gluing this one down entirely to this one. So I think I'm going to do that as a separate entity here on like maybe a piece of scrap paper, because I don't want the glue to go through and stick where it won't be a belly band. That would happen to me. So we're going to go ahead and put the glue on the back of here. And I need to probably trim this. There's a little tad that's not going to be needed. And I can use that for something. So I'll stick it up here in my little bin. And I'm going to go ahead and get the glue starting to go down. But yeah, we had, I had a interest in logos and things. And I do remember one I made up. It was cookbook. Maybe it was cookbook I did. I was just playing with different words. It wasn't a particular business, but it was giving me practice. So I said, cookbook. What can I do for that? So what I did was I created, it kind of looked like a frying pan. And I actually put the handle, and I shaped it into like a C. And I can't remember what I did to the end with the K. But what happened was that cook and book, they have the two circles in the middle of each word. So those became two eggs sitting down inside of the pan. And then the K I turned backward and put on the end. And that became the K that was shared between the two, as well as the two circles, which were the eggs. And then I was doing this and doing that. And there was a few ones for in town. And I think I tried to see if anybody was interested. I think you get paid to do logos. I was trying to see if anybody was interested in buying one. And this goes in this direction, so I need to turn this around. So we're going to put this little pretty right there in the center. So, yeah, there's a lot of different things. Now, I heard web design, you can get paid to do those, and that's a part of art, but I'm not that good with a computer. I can figure one out, but I am just not technology efficient. I could sit there and piddle with something and get it to finally work, but sometimes they just frustrate the dickens out of me. And I just can't get it to do what I want it to do. I have a cut line right here that I'm going to get in here and put together real quick with this fabric tack. This stuff is great. All right, let me put this together, and while that's drying, let me see if I can find a couple pictures to show you. All right, I had to turn my light off so it wouldn't glare against here. But these are the ones I was telling you about, like Boris Vallejo, that was an artist, and these are just pencil sketches. But this is Cleopatra. Now, I did these the year after I graduated, 1983, and I just seemed to, get into doing a lot of this type of work, and then I got into the people's faces. Now this is Hilda. She's the one that looks like the what I say, Viking lady. She's got her club over to the left of her. Her feet are intensely small. So, and she's sitting on she's got the chair turned around backward. But I did an intricate chair and an intricate table and a funny looking vase of and a stein that looks like a horn of some type. So I was trying to get creative. And then here's Timarita. Yeah, Timarita. I had to pull back and look. But she's the belly dancer. And I did her some pillows and a vase, and then you can see the tent door going off to the right where the mountains are in the background. Let me see what else I got. I got some weird. Now here's another one I did with oil pastel, and she's Lonnie Ann. But does she look like Lonnie Anderson? Because that's who I named her after. If anybody remembers who Lonnie Anderson is. She married Burt Reynolds. And I don't know if the lighter one, I can't remember which is which there. But this one, what is her name? Amazonia. So I made her like a shield. And she's another pencil sketch. I did a lot of pencil sketches. And let's see. This one, that one just markers. I just did like an outline kind of a thing. And I think that was another type of art that I was piddling with at one point. I'm trying to see if there was any. Oh, this was definitely high school. Now, this is oil pastel. And I wasn't even using Rhoda then. I was using Diane, which is my middle name. And we had to do something, and I did a tiger, and I made him out of just, it was actually just chalk. It wasn't oil pastel, it was chalk. So I had to treat him with hairspray to keep him from smearing. But Mom got him. That was a Mother's Day. And I can't remember if I did the Black Stallion. I think I did him in school too. And he's acrylic. But he's black, so I had to figure out some way to make his body, delineate. And so I put white or something. I guess I got a sheen on here, but there's a closer where you can kind of see where I put in some extra. And then he's got a sunset. That was when I watched my Black Stallion. And let's see. Oh, now, you wouldn't think to do anything like this in math class, but this was geometry. I think it was like 10th grade geometry. But you could not do anything but use, what is that thing where you put the point down and then you have the little pencil on the other side? Compass? Is it a compass? So I could only use a ruler, a compass, and what else? It's like you could put your pencil down and then draw. So as you can see where I've got her body and, like her boobs, I guess you go in her hip, I put that compass down and I drew that little bit that I needed. Then I put it down again and drew a little bit that I needed. So that's how I was able to get all that. But whoever got the A or got chosen to be the winner got an A. I really needed it that year. All right, enough of that. Okay, so this is basically dry. I peeled off the background paper. Now I'm going to be using a couple of markers, alcohol markers here. I got a Copic, which is, where's the color? Oh, I guess Willow. I'm going to use Willow for the green, and I've got a PP5, which I think is something pink, and a Spectrum Noir, and that's going to be for the Rosebud. But first I got to kind of figure out which way I wanted it to go. For the rose to show, I have to be facing this in this direction. So let me kind of make a mark here, and we'll get my cutter back out, and I'll probably cut that right there. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make a mark below as well. Well, it'll be on there. And then I'll do that to the other side. I'll be right back. All right, get my guillotine cutter back out here, and let's see if this will fit in here. Yeah, as you can see, I used that art ability to get myself through quite a few episodes. And yeah, it was just fun to come up with things like that. I think there was some other class or thing that I did with art. Okay, and these pieces, I can save these and put in some collage work or something along those lines. But what I want to do is put these together. I think that may be too big. I may have to cut them down a little bit. But they're going to go together like this. And maybe I can just glue them. Yeah, I can just glue them together. That'll work. So I'm going to get the regular glue out. I'm kind of forming my own shape of a doily here. Let's see. Put that on there like that. Get that down again where I can tell what's what. But this is going to get glued down all the way to the base. It's not going to be sticking up and in the way in any way, shape, or form. I just have to get it to be just right. Then I'll get over here, put a little glue there, wherever else I think I need it. Now all of this is going to be underneath. You won't see too much of it at all. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim that little bit that's sticking out up there that I don't need. You won't see it. It's going to be under everything. And yeah, about like that. So before I glue it down though, I'm going to do some decorating on it. Just to bring out the one rose, especially this one. I think that may be the only one that shows, to tell you the truth. Yeah, it's about the only one that shows. So that's the only one we're going to worry with. So I want the chisel. I think this is chisel. Maybe this is considered chisel, where it's the straight one like that. I hardly ever use the chisel tip. I usually will use this one. But we're going to use, we'll just put this in behind it in case it bleeds through. But we're just going to decorate it up just like it's a rosebud. And I thought there were some leaves, but I'm not so sure where they are. So, but at like in 1983, I'd graduated. I didn't go to college. I really didn't have anything going on. And so I would go down to my friend's house just down the road here. And she was an only child, and I didn't get along with my sister very well. So I'd go down and spend time with her. And she had like a sliding glass door that went to the outside, out of her room. And it had like a little step up on it. Well, I would sit on that step, and that's what I would sit on and just draw. I would just draw. I don't see any leaves on here. I don't see any leaves. So we're just going to kind of not worry about it, I guess. Yeah, I would sit there and do my drawing, and we would talk, and that's just all we did. Just kind of hung out. Talk about things. She would, oh, and her dad was the radio station. He owned the radio station in town, and it was AM and FM. So she always had a bunch of records and things. So she would always put on like the 33. That's the big one. So she'd put the 33 on, and we would just listen to that. And I would be drawing. We'd be talking. And we'd be listening. That's what we did. I live in a small town. There is not much going on here. Whatsoever. We have a few movie theaters. We have a pretty park in town. But other than that, it's not much to do. We have other towns that are around us, but still. Her mother and father were pretty protective of her. So she didn't get to go out very much. And I wasn't much to be going out myself. I mean, I was never into the dating scene or the partying scene, any of those things. I was just kind of a homebody. Just like to stay at home and watch TV and draw, read. All those great things. That's a Victorian females used to do. Oh. Alright, so, yeah. So I had quite a bit of things that I did on the soup. Sit there and draw. Sometimes I would draw her. I'll show you that in the next time. I have a few things that I did where I have actually drawn people. It was one time in my life around that time where I had, I was working at a nursing home. And I think it was from there some lady gave me a picture. I think it was her grandson. And wanted me to draw it, and then she paid me for it. Well, little did I know that she wanted like 5 of them, or 4 of them, you know. So I tried it, but I swear every one of those looked different. He looked different in every single one of those. Okay, I see. I think I need to cut this off up here. It doesn't need to be that tall. I think I did a horse one time for my my brother's girlfriend. I thought she was going to be a sister-in-law, but she never got that far. So let me lay that down so I can get the glue coming down. But yeah, she didn't quite make it. After 5 years, you thought what she would have, but she didn't. She was younger, 5 years younger than him. All right, let's see if we can get this down and make it into, and I'm still crooked. I'm trying to get it to be straight. The only problem is up here, I cut part of that off. I guess it is what it is. All right, I'm going to lay this down here and see exactly where I need to be with this. I'm going to go up under this part here and do a big line. I don't have to have that much. It's going to be the belly band. It doesn't have to be that large. So I'm going to lay that there. I'm trying to avoid my crease over here. And if you notice, this thing goes from end to end. It goes from one end to the other. And I have a little bit of a bite mark out of that one, but I guess it is going to have to be okay. Okay, there. Now let me see if I can pull this to where it will stretch a little bit. Yeah. There. I wanted it to be a little tighter. You know, if you stretch it a little bit, it'll tighten up. Yeah. The only thing is the ribbon on the top is keeping it from being pulled. All right. Now let me get something. Oh, I got something right here. I don't know how easy this is to get something under it, but this is going to be the way it works. Right like that. Little belly band. All right, and that's for trim. So we've got trim done. The next one is magazine. So let me get all figured out here and get everything set up for the next one. All right, so magazine. I decided to use some of these Birds and Blooms magazines, and I found this little guy that I really think is so cute. I think he's a titmice. And so he looks like he might be small enough to work for my page, because of course I'm cutting it down. And get my magazine out of the way. And I'm needing him to work on here, and I'm probably going to trim him out, like with the scissors, and just have him standing on the branch. It doesn't really say what you want to do with the magazine. I think it's up to your interpretation. So that's where we're going here. I'm going to use that, and then I have a little bit of this paper that one of my gifts was wrapped up at my in-laws, and I really love it. And I think I'm going to actually use that as the whole background. It's sort of a snow scene with some pretty gold on the background. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to be using this window That's from this Baseboards and Transparencies Halloween 2023. And we're going to work it into our look. And then I don't know why I got that one out. I have this from one of those Paper Studio containers that I'm going to be using on my antique journal. So I wanted to bring out this bird cage. And I've also got a bird cage here, but I don't think we're going to use that. I may use the little bird and see if I can stamp him inside of the bird cage. And then outside on the window is going to be this crow. You know what he's from. I used him a lot in the Halloween journal I did. So first things first, we got to get in here and put our base paper down. Trying to get some of those things out of the way. So let me just turn it around this way. And we're going to mark it with the pencil. I'm always putting that pencil away. Right there. And right here. Yeah, this is going to be a bulky, a bulky book. I didn't realize that. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of stuff that's starting to kind of pounce out. All right, I'm going to line this up here. And I'm going to hand cut this out, but I got to get it straight. So let me see. Almost a little over 3/4. There we go. And I'll do the same, I guess, with this side. It might be straight and it might not. Let's do that. That'll be close enough. Looks like it might be all right. I've got to still fill my little Valentine's. What was it I made? A journal cover. There we go. I'll get it out. Yeah, I made a journal cover. That was Halloween. I mean, Halloween. Valentine's. It was red. That was my Sanuki Art Full Deck Challenge one. So, I still have to put stuff on the inside of it. And I have to get to my orange, which is this week's, or this month's, no, this week's challenge words. So I got to get to doing that. I think there's a piece of tape right there. Not that I think it's going to hurt if it stays on there. I don't think anything is going up this way. All right. That's a little crooked. Okay, I think it'll work. All right. Let me get some of this on there. Yeah, it seems like I took on these challenges, and that's about all I've been having time for. But if I can do another day or two of these Junk Journal January ones, I'll be pretty much caught up, and I'll have a little bit of, you know, room in between. It won't be long before Jody's next prompt bunch will come out. That'll be on the 14th, I believe. All right, let's see. See what I got here. I can't really lay this out down because it's got that on the back side with pearls on it. We'll do the best we can. Here's the other part of that butterfly everybody liked. All right, I think as long as it's holding pretty steady, I think we'll be good. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, I want to hand cut out this little guy. So let me go ahead and do that. Actually, we have, well, I want to figure out where each piece is going to go. He's going to be kind of looking up toward the window. So let me go ahead and cut him out real quick. All right, I just realized I hadn't got my light back on from when I was over at the computer. So I've got it on now. Hope you can be able to see a little better. All right, the little titmice, however you say his name, is supposed to be sitting here. He's going to be taking up a whole lot of room. So I can probably cut his branch off and extend it over here, because I didn't realize I needed that much on that side. Okay, so that'll be something to add here. See if this will work. Yeah, I just need to trim on the top there. That's why I wanted that white background, because it was going to hide a lot of my problems. So there we go. So he's going to sit here. He's going to be looking up at the window. I need to add that because I wanted that raven or crow to be sitting on this. Then I can put him up here because I need something up in that area. So that's what we'll do. All right. So next, we're going to take our bird cage, and I took that little birdie out of it. He just looks like that because you're actually supposed to put him into the bird cage. And we're going to tap him into the Versifine Onyx Black. And he's going to be sitting in here on top of his swing, I think it is. There we go. That looks good. See if I can stamp that off on something. Yeah, that's a cool little thing. I can't remember where I got these. I got both of them. There's two. And it could have been I got it at not Hobby Lobby. Maybe Michael's? I don't know. I can't remember. Alright, but they're pretty neat. I've got dragonflies on here galore. There's sayings. It might have been Walmart. I didn't keep the little insert. Usually I'll do that so I'll know. But for some reason I didn't keep that one. Okay. What we're going to do next. We're making this look like this is inside the house. I don't care that I can see through the window and you can see the same scene. If you wanted to, you could get in here and put something else on the background. Huh. Okay. Let me see. Maybe I could put that in here and it looks like a curtain. Let's do that. Need to stick me some glue in here. I don't know if I need it down in that spot. But this was from where I was testing the last page. Oh, I don't want... I've got to put the birdhouse in here to where you can see the bird. And he needs to be... he needs to be before the actual curtain. The curtain should be first, but I don't want it to be like that. All right, let's see if we can get him on here first. I guess it's going to have to be like that. There. Because I got to get in here and trim off what's supposed to be behind the window. Those two pieces there. Then I can come back in, add a little bit more glue, maybe to right here, because this part is going to be held in. And put the curtain down like that. Push that down and trim again. Turn this way. There. It got the look. It's a little kind of the cart before the horse kind of a scenario. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in, and I think I'm going to use fabric tack for this one, because I'm going onto this shiny surface, and I'm really wondering, trying to clean my nose off, I'm really wondering if it's going to stick that well with this heavy piece. I've got everything sticking to me, sorry. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So I guess I had a few more years of drawing. And then I went to school down in North Carolina, because the same girl that, you know, I sit on her stoop there in her bedroom and would draw, she went to live down back in North Carolina again. So I hadn't done anything with my life, didn't have any plans to do anything in my life. So I decided to go down there and just follow her, and I decided to go to school. I worked for a while, and then I think I decided to go to school, and I went to the college, and we had an apartment there together. And I took, what was it I took? I think I went in first for medical. Did I go in for medical assisting? Or did I go in for art all the way? I think I went in for medical assisting first, because I loved learning about all that stuff, but I didn't want to put it to hands-on service kind of thing. I just did not want to. Now my bird cage is crooked. I don't know if I can get in there and fix it. I don't think I can. He's going to have to stay like that. So anyhow, I took 1 year of medical assisting, but then after that, I did not want to do any more with it. I'm going to have to do just the tip of the tail, the feet, and then over here. And I think that's the only part that's going to get glued. Yeah, he's standing up here on the windowsill. And then I did quite a few things there. We had drawing, art history. Then we had a pottery class at one point, and we of course did watercolor, and I can't remember if I did any kind of other drawing. So this is how this little birdie's going to be, and I need to cut him off right here, I think. Yep, right there. And he's going to go down, and I've got to get him glued up. And I really enjoyed those classes. The art, or the pottery class that we had, it was like we were just forming things out of clay. So what I ended up doing, as you know, I've always been a crazy Egyptian lover. So I think the assignment was to make a box of some sort. So I made a pyramid. And I still have it. It's up here. It's up here on my top of my bookshelf. But the teacher, she wanted it. She wanted it so bad. She said, if you ever want to get rid of that or sell it, she says, I would love to have it. I don't know that she was a a lover of Egyptian art like I was, but yeah. I don't know if I can, it's way up there. I don't think I could get it off. If I can think to do it in the future, I will, and let you see it. But I did do a little kitty cat. Of course, I'm a cat lover too. So I did a little kitty cat. Let me see if I can get her down. She's just ahead of me here. All right, here's my kitty cat. And it's like she's lying down, and she's curled into like a little C shape. And there's one of her paws coming down, laying by her. There's one of her back legs right there. Then that's her front paw here, and her little tail. But it's just kind of the impression. And she's sleeping. And just kind of curled around. And then we had to carve out the inside because it can't be too thick when they fire it. So we had to carve that out a little bit. And I forgot I had a horse here too that I had done. And you can see up inside of him, he's not fully brushed through with the black. But he was to sit on a mirror or something. And he was sit on a mirror and it looks like he's coming up out of the water kind of a thing. That was the whole idea there. But I've got his mane on there. And then his neck. And that's a piece of where I was cleaning off the dust off of it. But there's his eyes. And his nostrils and mouth. Got his mane kind of flowing up. There's his ears. And then his little hoof. And I even put a frog and everything in there. And I remember coming back that I had started working on a piece. And it was like 3 horses coming up. And it was kind of like one of them big French Renaissance fountains kind of look. So anyhow, it dried up. I never got to finish it. I actually brought it all home to finish it. And never did. So sad, so sad. Okay, so we have trim and magazine. So that's going to go back in the front up here. And then we're going to have a look-see at what we did. Now I went back in and colored 2 more of the rosebuds on either side. Because you can kind of see them. So it's not so all whitey right there. But yeah, this is where you can go up under with a belly band. And like I mentioned, I did not have the light on, so I don't know how well you were able to see all this. But that's what we ended up with. And then over here is our little scene. Bulking it up some more, baby. With that window. But I've got my little curtain in here with the raven, the bird, and so it's sort of like the wild birds are looking at the tame bird. That was the kind of idea here. And I thought that was kind of a neat aspect. I couldn't really think of what else to do. I could have cut a piece of magazine and just put it over the whole back end. And I thought, no, let me put some more to it. So I kind of like that aspect where the tame bird is looking at the wild birds and vice versa. All right. Oh, gosh, look at that thing. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you to all my subscribers and viewers. Come by to see me. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.